everyone, this is Manga Stoker92 here, otherwise known as Stefan Yeager on the Twitter. As a State of Decay fan, I was hoping for more in their sequel, but we got far less at launch than I feared. They built a good RNG cycle through adding breakdown into the core mechanics, but this made no sense in my eyes. The story is so bare bones compared to the original that it makes me wonder, can I even call this a sequel at all? My impressions of the game, I was expecting innovation, but instead, I just got more of the game I played years ago. There's no denying that there's refinement to gameplay, much more cooler places to explore and live in. Playing, however, is more of a chore with the glitches. Multiplayer-wise, it's a feature that was sorely needed in the franchise, but wasn't well implemented at all. Through connection issues, and I understand, by the way, that it's peer-to-peer, but when I have a host who's hardlined and I'm still getting crap, there's a problem. And multiplayer pushes the boundaries from there. Anti-aliasing issues, cars that can no longer collide, supply lockers that just disappear out of thin air. And by the way, for those of you who are tired of supply lockers being invisible, all you gotta do, as host player, remove your outpost and reclaim your outpost, and it will have the supply locker appear once more. A little tip for those out there that are tired of supply lockers just being gone. Same goes for home base, of course, but that's when you're moving, of course. Gameplay wise, the combat far more fluid, it seems. Stamina conserving has never been more important this time around. Being a vet, this impressed me. Weapons far more diverse, egging you to loot everything before moving on. This is where the game gets interesting, with facility mods, water and power. For all these great improvements, they really submitted to the casual player in aspects of life improvements, such as repair kits and flipping cars over like this Halo Combat Evolve. I like the sense of the first, where you lost a car, you lost it for good. Not saying you can't in the second game, just it far less likely now, especially if you're careless in this game. And boy, if you not on guard, it surprises with the spawn rate of hordes. It feels truly relentless. Makes me wish the outposts were more useful. I wish I could make my community Negan or Grime status, but the cap is only 9 survivors in a community. To me, the game ended being easy. For I understand their game. The only innovating thing about the second game is the loot dispersal generator. Certain loot, how it appears in lootable containers, is quite impressive to me. The rest is just my childhood playground. You essentially win the loot grind with the pre-order. The prepper pack never really being the only time you can spawn it in. I never really bothered with this feature due to just, well, I'm a vet and that's that. The game pace is set in stone, aka noise, or difficulty. The more reckless, the more chance at zombie spawns. Pretty clear cut. The whole map is a spawn zone, other than cleared areas, outposts, and home base. These all prevent Zed spawns. It's a structure pretty footloose, random, but the base mission are infestations, plague hearts, rucksacks of delivery, or special missions which depend on your characters, but they seem random selected. Of all the time I've played in this game, I've had a bunch of fun, but there's always room for a bunch of improvement. It just makes me wonder, what did State of Decay devs do during development time, giving us this game at its current state, where the game feels rewarding, but for a veteran, simple, easy, and, well, trivial in my eyes. And this is where I just can't recommend this game to a friend. I can't
do it.
just say, come play with me. Because the glitches are just so bad that you just don't want to play. But that leads me to the story, and it's just 4 fundamental things. Promote a leader, clear play cards with leader, make the special project, and just defeat. Let's talk about those improvements. Number 1, I believe a leader should be able to step down at any point. If we had Rick Grimes step down in Walking Dead to make room for a government to reform the apocalypse, I should be able to do the same. Especially between leader types. Moving around and such. It's stupid that the leader has to be alive. And you can't swap out. They have to be there till they're dead. Number 2, able to give NPCs simple commands. For example, stay here, follow me. Like, stay close to me type of thing. Defend this location. Those type of dumb things, you know? Number 3, I want better AI improvements for ferals and human survivors. Because I'll tell you, in the first game, ferals dodge cars. Second game, feral doesn't do anything, like the vehicle doesn't exist. What the hell? Why go backwards, not forward? Number 4, adding in-game story elements other than radio talk. I understand they want to keep it a sandbox game and make it endless and stuff, but making the story, like, through a radio is dumb to me. I want it to actually be boots on the ground type of thing. I want development happening in my world. Number 5, more voices for characters. They have 1,000 and so traits, but the voices cycle faster than the traits cycle around. Just simple updates. Come on, just get more people to do voices and the commands and stuff. Number 6, add weather. Unreal Engine can make a weather system. If art can have it, so can you. 7, major improvements to co-op. I want them to feel like they're part of my community, not just passing through. Number 8, a legit trade screen between players. Nothing too special, just something basic. You know, just a simple trade screen. I've noticed that you can just drop stuff and people be trading on groups and stuff, but at the end of the day, you drop something, someone grabs it, chances are they're not going to give it back to you if the trade's not complete. So having a trade screen would totally, like, get rid of that. Number 9, allow players to choose whether they want to ascend the community or not, so they can continue surviving instead of starting over. I've started this game over 4 times to just get boons, to get player boons that just make my experience different. And they don't really add or change anything, they just make it just a little bit easier. Number 10, I want my save files. You have like 3 save files with communities. I want them to be able to interact with your current community. Like, I want you to feel like you have a network being created. You're actually creating a network between the survivors you've ascended, between the people you have in your work, between the save files and stuff. I want them to be able to interact with you. Other than just, well, Red Talon and dumb things. Number 11. I want stuff in the car trunk when a car explodes to despawn. No questions asked. They had this in the first game. If your car blew up and you had resources in the trunk, they were gone. They were gone. There was nothing you could do about it. So, I want that to come back. I mean, I know people like it and all, but come on, Undead Labs. Punish people for not driving safe, and punish people for not driving careful. Not just like, oh, well, the car exploded, now everything stays in the truck. Dumb. Number 12. Let missions feel more organic than Errand Simulator, or worse, Supply Truck Simulator. It feels so, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like how the game keeps your attention, but the missions and stuff just feel so, well, bland and uninteresting. You know? Deliver this here, save this person there, this person went AWOL, get this gun, get this heirloom, and then you have this thing whether you keep it or give it. Half the time, like, if you take it, well, you kill the person. You know, you give it, you get... Either way, there is no right or wrong in the sandbox game. There is no right or wrong. And Undead Labs gets that right. There's no right or wrong. If I want to keep a gun, I just have to kill the person who owned it last. If I give it the gun, well, I don't see it again. Until another mission structure as such. So, I don't know. We'll discuss it. Number 13. Add lootable clothing. To make a wardrobe area in the base of operations. Let me dress my survivors how I want to dress. Hell, even make it different. Make male and female clothing. But to wrap up, I'm just gonna say this. State of Decay 2 is an okay game. It's not a great game, but it's a good game. Plagued with glitches. But I'll tell you, I want Undead Labs to hear this message. I want them to talk to us. I want them to say to us what they're working on to fix this problem. I don't want this game to end up like No Man's Sky. I love this franchise too much to have it end like No Man's Sky, where it takes months for them to fix what they broke. It takes months for them to give us what we want. Join the conversation. Let us fix State of Decay 2.